You're listening to Do This First, a daily personal development podcast that focuses on science-backed, actionable steps towards your best year ever. Hi, I'm Sandy, your host. Today, we're continuing with our Founder series by way of James Madison. James Madison was the fourth President of the United States and is often hailed as the father of the Constitution for his pivotal role in its drafting and ratification. Madison's contributions to the early development of the USA was profound and multifaceted, encompassing his tenure in public office as well as his intellectual input in shaping the nation's foundational documents. Born on March 16, 1751 in Port Conway, Virginia, Madison grew up in a wealthy family. He was educated at the College of New Jersey, which is Princeton University, where he demonstrated a keen interest in the study of government, law, and philosophy, a scholarly pursuit that would lay the groundwork for his future contributions. Early in his career, Madison was elected to the Virginia State Legislature, where he became a protege of Thomas Jefferson. Through this connection, Madison's influence on American political thought began to take shape. He was dedicated to the idea of religious freedom. Madison's early political actions underscored his commitment to individual rights and the principle of separation of church and state, fundamental concepts that would later be embedded in our Constitution. Madison's most enduring legacy may well be his role in drafting the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments to the Constitution, recognizing the critical need for a formal outline of individual liberties to secure the ratification of the Constitution. Madison actually initially opposed the idea, but later became a staunch advocate. He meticulously penned a series of amendments that would secure the fundamental rights of citizens, ensuring freedoms such as speech, assembly, and religion. These amendments were ratified by the states in 1791, cementing Madison's role as a seminal figure in American legal history. Madison oversaw the Louisiana Purchase, heralded international diplomacy, the Napoleonic Wars, and as president during the War of 1812 against Great Britain. While James Madison is celebrated for his numerous achievements and contributions to the formation of the United States, his career was not without its failures and controversies. Some of these perceived failures were tied to the limitations of the era, while others were the result of his policies and decisions. Here are a few aspects of Madison's career that have been critiqued. Madison's handling of the war in 1812 met with significant criticism, as the United States was woefully unprepared for the war, lacking adequate naval power and suffering from an underfunded and poorly organized military. The British were able to burn Washington, D.C., including the White House, a symbolic defeat that underscored the vulnerabilities of our young nation. Madison's critics argue that better preparation and a more strategic approach could have mitigated these failures leading up to the War of 1812. Madison, following in the footsteps of his predecessor, Thomas Jefferson, supported the Embargo Act of 1807, and the subsequent Non-Intercourse Act hurt American exports as they plummeted and smuggling became rampant, and economic hardship spread across the United States, especially affecting merchants and ship owners in the Northeast. These policies were widely viewed as a failure and contributed to the regional tensions that would eventually lead to the Civil War. Madison's presidency and policies also led to further displacement and suffering of Native American populations. His administration continued the practice of pressuring Native American tribes to cede lands to the U.S. government and move westward. Madison's era included conflicts such as the Battle of Tippecanoe in 1811, where future President William Henry Harrison defeated Tecumseh's Confederacy. While such actions were consistent with prevailing policies and attitudes of the time, from a contemporary perspective, they are seen as significant moral failures and violations of human rights. Madison's commitment to the American experiment in self-government, his unwavering belief in the principles of liberty and justice, cement his place as a pivotal figure in the nation's history. James Madison's life and career offers a rich source of leadership lessons that remain relevant today. His contributions as a founding father, architect of the Constitution, and President of the United States, despite the challenges and failures that he faced, provide powerful insights into effective leadership. Here are 6 key leadership lessons drawn from Madison's experiences. Number 1, preparation and knowledge. Madison's significant contributions to the Constitutional Convention were underpinned by his exhaustive preparation. He arrived in Philadelphia with a comprehensive understanding of government systems, which allowed him to propose well-thought-out ideas that ultimately shaped the Constitution. This underscores the value of thorough preparation and a deep knowledge base in any leadership endeavor. Leadership involves continuous learning and preparation to make informed decisions that guide others effectively. Number 2, the art of compromise. Madison understood that achieving a consensus among diverse viewpoints was crucial for the collective good. The creation of the Constitution itself was a study in compromise, including the Connecticut Compromise, which balanced representation between large and small states. Effective leaders recognize the importance of finding middle ground to achieve sustainable outcomes. Number 3, persistence. Despite initial opposition to the idea of the Bill of Rights, Madison came to support and eventually penned the first 10 amendments to the Constitution. His vision for a nation that protected individual freedoms and his persistence in advocating for those rights, even when it was not popular, demonstrates the necessity of having a clear vision and perseverance to see it through. Leaders must be forward-thinking and persistent in their pursuit of their objectives, even in the face of challenges and opposition. Number 4, adaptability. Madison's presidency, particularly during the War of 1812, tested his leadership at times of national crises. Despite being unprepared for the war and facing significant challenges, he did manage to navigate our nation through the conflict. His administration's ability to adapt to the circumstances and lead the country through adversity speaks to the critical leadership qualities of adaptability and resilience. Effective leaders must navigate unexpected challenges and adapt their strategies to lead their teams through difficult times. Number 5, intellectual humility. Madison was known for his intellectual prowess, but he also recognized the value of engaging with ideas different from his own. His participation in the Federalist Papers debate, where he argued passionately for the ratification of the Constitution, while of course respecting his opponent's perspectives, illustrates the importance of intellectual humility. Leaders benefit from being open to new ideas, acknowledging their limitations, and encouraging a culture of robust debate to enrich understanding and decision-making. No one knows everything. Don't paint yourself into a corner and stay open to the possibilities. Number 6, the importance of consistency between beliefs and actions. James Madison, like all historical figures, was a product of his times with a complex mix of beliefs, actions, and inevitably flaws. Arguably, the most significant character flaw was his inability to reconcile his intellectual understanding of the moral contradictions of slavery with his actions. Madison acknowledged the inherent contradiction between the ideals of freedom and equality that the new nation, America, stood for and the reality of slavery. Despite this understanding, he remained a slave owner throughout his life and did not take decisive public action to challenge or fundamentally change the institution of slavery in America. Leaders and individuals alike should strive for alignment between their beliefs and their actions. When there is a significant discrepancy between what one professes to value and how one behaves, like do what I say and not what I do, it can lead to a legacy that is at best viewed as compromise. Endeavoring to live in a manner that is consistent with one's principles is essential for integrity. Madison's life, including his character flaws, serve as a rich source of learning, reminding us of the importance of ethical consistency, the courage to oppose injustices, and the value of personal growth, and the necessity of action in the pursuit of a more equitable society. While Madison's handling of issues like slavery reflects the deep contradictions and moral failings of his time, it also serves as a reminder of the importance of ethical leadership that can guide leaders toward more just and equitable practices. Madison's legacy teaches that effective leadership is multifaceted, and it requires a balance of knowledge, collaboration, vision, adaptability, humility, and ethical considerations. While Madison was a product of his time, the lessons drawn from his life's work continue to offer valuable insights for leaders today. If you like what you're hearing, don't forget to leave a review. Follow and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Do This First. You can also read a full transcript of this podcast episode on my blog, dothisfirst.life. You can also sign up for my new weekly newsletter, which will help you get your week started on a positive note, and updates on coaching, books, merch, and my public speaking engagements will be made available as well. Tomorrow, we'll continue with our Founder series with Alexander Hamilton. Until then.
Moving past the rain.